Good morning, beautiful people. I got surprised by the live. It's Marie Alessi here. I wanted to check in with you about, I believe, an extremely important topic in these times, and that is freedom. I really wanted to talk to you about the concept that freedom starts in your mind. There is so much fear going around these days, which I can partially understand, with a deadly virus going around the world. And I'm not going to make this an invitation for various theories, conspiracy theories, anti or pro vaccine. Please, let's not get started about this here. I want to make this very clear. But what I want to talk to you about is how important it is. Good morning, Terry. How important it is in times like these, where there is so much of that spread around and where there is so much fear triggered in people, to remind ourselves that freedom starts in your mind. It really starts where you distinguish what is coming into your mind and what you do with it. That is the trigger. What do you do with the information that you have been giving? I too had one or two articles sent to me that really triggered me, that really scared me, that were, something that really made me think. And my decision was to literally step backwards a bit, not spread these things around, and focus on the things that I can control. This is the key word here. Focus on the things. Hi, everyone. I love that you're all saying good morning to each other. Hey, Shalina. Focus on the things that you can control. Key sentence in this whole life here. Focus on the things you can control. I want to start with a quote that has been with me for many, many years now. And it really impressed me tremendously when you think after how many decades Nelson Mandela was freed from prison on this beautiful day on the 11th of February 1990. I wanted to almost say 2020. Where's that coming from? 11th of February 1990, Nelson Mandela was freed from prison. And I was absolutely struck by this empowering quote, and I'm going to actually read it to you, when he walked out of prison and he said, as I stand before the door to my freedom, I realize that if I do not leave behind my pain, anger, and bitterness behind me, I will still be in prison. Forgiveness does not make you weak, it sets you free. And I thought this is extremely powerful for a man that has spent half his lifetime behind bars in such a violent, you know, this whole war around apartheid, and there was so much violence around him, and to walk away from prison and saying that he's leaving all the anger, all the resentment, everything behind him, because otherwise he'd still be in prison. That to me is an extremely powerful example of freedom starts in your mind. And that really triggered me. That was hello, good morning. That was a real eye opener and life changer for me, to realize when somebody that has spent so many years behind bars, and somebody who loves peace and freedom so much and stands up for his rights, to walk away with that mindset is incredible. Here's the other key word: mindset. So in days like today, I really want you to be even more so vigilant with your mindset and watch, what are the thoughts that I allow in? What are the thoughts that are coming in, and what does it trigger in me? And what do I do with them? Do I act upon them? Do I allow them to trigger fear and pour fear into my heart? Or do I focus on the things that I can control? And believe me, understand it, it's so much easier said than done these days with everything going on. But if Nelson Mandela can do that in decades behind bars and walk away from that, I think that we can all do this as a collective. If we all as a collective focus on the things that we can control, focus on the love, focus on the connection, reach out to people. I too had a really rough week last week, and I have to say, I actually surprised myself that I reached out to my friends, because this is something I really had to learn, and did not find easy to reach out to people and say, you know what, I'm actually not good. I'm actually not dealing well with this right now because there were too many factors coming together. And no, I wasn't in prison, but I really felt restricted with my hand surgery. Look, my beautiful cast is off. I'm back to my splint now. I can do my physio. I'm super excited about this. And that too to me was a tiny little bit of freedom when this cast came off, because it meant that I couldn't drive. You know, when I had the cast on, I couldn't drive, and that really made me feel even more so restricted. Not just that we're in lockdown and we can't really go far, but that I couldn't even drive to a supermarket when I needed, I don't know, some eggs when I ran out. And last night I had to ask my neighbor for 2 eggs, which was really nice. I love being in a neighborhood where I feel so supported. I am eternally grateful for the support network that I have built around me and that I have allowed around me. Another keyword, allowed. Where do you stand in your life right now? Who is with you? Who is surrounding you, supporting you, and who do you allow in? Again, just watch this, observe this, look at the people who are around you, and be very mindful of when they contact you, when they are with you, whether that's in a virtual space or in the physical space. Do they leave you behind feeling better, empowered, nourished, nurtured, encouraged? Or do they leave you behind feeling drained, feeling sorry for yourself, feeling worse than before? Be mindful of that. All of these things are actually also in our healing journey from grief to relief. You will find them in our guide section in the group Loving Love After Loss. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then you can subscribe to our channel, and you can also request to join our group so you can get all these things and way more than you just find on a YouTube channel to support you on your journey. Get people in here, invite people in. We are all in this together, and this group is so full of love and support. This to me means freedom. Love and support, allowing it in, being able to have that in our lives freely. And even if it's sometimes reduced to virtual space, allow it in. Be mindful of who you allow in, but allow those in who are really there to support you. And I had some absolutely gorgeous friends reaching out to me last week and supporting me and letting me cry on the phone. You know, it was just something where I felt they held space for me, and I felt that it was safe to do so, to just let go, to share my deepest innerest thoughts and fears and everything around my family and things that have been going on, dynamics that have changed in our family. It was so important for me to have somebody to bounce this off with, to share ideas, share thoughts, and hear advice, allow advice in. It doesn't mean that you have to act upon it if it doesn't feel right for you. Here's another keyword, right. Does it feel right? What are your rights? There is just so much happening around this topic of freedom that I wanted to spread it into this world, to consider maybe being a bit more, what's the word I'm looking for, consciously aware around this topic. And that is my little message to you around freedom this morning. I really want to invite you to open your heart, open your mind, put those filters on, be a bit more careful in terms of what you allow into your heart, into your mind, what you allow to spread, as poison, which sometimes some of those conspiracy theories can be, and I'm talking about in both directions, anti, pro, whatever. It doesn't matter. We have to be very mindful of what we allow in. And that also goes for the positives and the negatives. There are so many people around you right now that can support you. And in times of grief, what we do is often that we retract and don't allow help or support in. So if you are one of those who find it really, really hard to reach out to people, who find it challenging to put up your hand and say, you know what, I'm not doing well, send me a PM. Put a love heart in the comment so we know to reach out to you. I'm sending you bucket loads and oodles of love. This is Marie signing off. Bye for now.